A strike could threaten everything from farming and food to crucial chemicals for clean water, causing major supply chain disruptions.
Yeah, that's right. A railroad strike wouldn't just inconvenience passengers, it would devastate the entire economy, which you've got to admit sounds weird in 2022, right? No, it does, because railroads feel so old-timey. You know, it's like, on the railroad. And then, like, it'll devastate the economy now. It's like finding out you're losing your job because the whale hunters union went on strike. You're like, but I work on computers. Yeah, well, actually, the internet runs on whale oil. What are you going to do? Now, the situation is complex, but basically, some railroad unions are threatening to strike because despite railroad companies making billions in profits, workers' schedules are so unpredictable that they can't plan their lives, and they definitely don't get nearly enough sick days, which they deserve. Especially because every few train rides, they have to climb on the roof because they hear a sound and it's James Bond who's coming to punch them and take over the train. That's at least a mental health day. So it's kind of messed up for Joe Biden to step in and forbid the workers from striking. You know, that's the only point of leverage that workers have. If they can't strike, what are they supposed to do? Be like, all right, we'll run the trains, but when we blow the whistle, it's going to be real sad. Choo-choo. At the same time, though, I can see why Joe Biden is willing to stop the unions from going on strike. He can't have the economy take a hit on his watch. His administration has enough problems. High interest rates, war in Europe, they can't find a sitter for Pete Buttigieg. Times are hard. But if anyone can solve a train crisis, it's Joe Biden. This man has spent his whole life obsessed with trains. This is his moment. Can you imagine? It's made for him. This is like if Trump had to solve a crisis involving the McRib. You know? He's just like, everyone out of the room, Melania, get me the Hamburglar on a secure line. We're gonna solve this. But this is yet another reminder of all the things happening in the supply chain that we all just take for granted. Right? We take it all for granted because a banana doesn't just show up in a grocery store. Somebody grows a tree in Costa Rica, and then it's picked and it's loaded onto a truck, and then a ship, all right? And then another truck, and then a train, and then another truck. And that's when you buy it at the store. You put it on your counter, and you let it slowly rot before throwing it in the garbage. And that garbage is picked up by another truck, and then it's shipped back to Costa Rica. It's actually beautiful when you think about it. It's a circle of life. Hakuna Matata. All right, finally, history is full of famous feuds. You know, Godzilla versus Mothra, Swifties versus Ticketmaster, Herschel Walker versus condoms. And now there's a new one. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, is picking a fight with the world's richest company.
Elon Musk has a beef with Apple. He claims the tech giant has threatened to pull Twitter from its App Store. A move like that would, of course, crush Musk's new company.
Musk tweeting a series of claims against Tim Cook and company, calling out the iPhone maker for pulling back on advertising on the social platform, also complaining about the 15 to 30% fee that is placed on app developers. Musk also said that Apple had threatened to remove Twitter from its App Store as part of its review moderation process. He likened this move to a suppression of free speech.
This is a battle for the future of civilization, he writes. If free speech is lost, even in America, tyranny is all that lies ahead.
Really, Elon? Tyranny? You can't give the Braveheart speech about everything. Everything? This dude is walking around Twitter headquarters like, this threatens the very existence of democracy and mankind. And the janitor's like, okay, geez, I'll refill the paper towels. Stop shouting. Now, we should unpack this a bit because Elon went full-on ludicrous mode yesterday with a bunch of different claims about Apple. The first thing he complained about was that Apple stopped advertising on Twitter, which he thinks is an attack on free speech. And maybe it's just me, but do you also find it funny how free speech and giving Elon Musk money always seem to be perfectly aligned? Right? Elon's like, oh, so the world's most carefully protected brand doesn't want ads showing up next to Nazi memes? I guess you believe in censorship, huh? Secondly, Elon is bitching that Apple has threatened to drop Twitter from the App Store. And if that's true, it's probably because Apple requires all of its apps to be safe. And Musk has essentially fired all the people who are responsible for content moderation and replaced them with a sign that just says, hey, don't post that.